Hey everybody, this is Ryan from Safe Easy Tech, and today we are talking about what parents need to know about Minecraft. It is a super popular game, sold millions and millions of copies over the last several years, and now is owned by Microsoft. So we're gonna jump right in right off the bat. I don't want to take up a lot of your time, but the PC version of this game, it's on PC, it's on Xbox. Those are the biggest platforms that it's on right now. There are some mobile versions as well. But PC and Xbox is kind of where it tends to live the most. And most often, I think since it started on PC, that's probably the more popular version that's out there right now. So it is a paid for game. You do have to buy it. And you can buy it from Mojang's website. I'll put it in the description below in case you're interested. It is supported now through Microsoft since they bought it out. But we're going to go ahead and jump into a world here that I created so you can look at kind of the ins and outs of the game. So some things to know about it. Minecraft in its most simple form is a sandbox building game. There's lots of them out there. This is kind of considered the original one, not because it was really the original one, but just because it was the first one that just really hit it off and went huge. And there's a lot of like cool factor around it in the gaming community just because it was built by one guy in its most basic form, and so there's some neat stuff. But anyway, so it's a sandbox building game. So you have a world that you spawn into, and you can play in two different modes. You can play in creative mode, which is what I'm in right now, where you can fly around, you can't be killed. You have unlimited blocks and stuff that you can pull from, build from, use. And then you also have survival mode, which is where you start with nothing. You have to start punching trees, build a shelter, get tools, do everything that you want to do yourself. So there is no cheat mode. I'm going to turn down the music because one thing Minecraft does have no shortage of is what sounds to me like creepy sounding music. So some of the things you're going to see in the game, or your kids are going to see in the game when they're playing, just so you know about it. There are some what are called mobs or monsters in the game. And so we can take a look at them real quick, just so you know what's there, what your kids will be seeing when they're playing it. One of the most common ones is a creeper, which is this little guy here. They called that because they creep up on you and then they blow up. So it's like a little alien looking thing. Another is a skeleton, which shoots bows and arrows. And another common one is a zombie. So whatever your views on zombies are, you're going to see a lot of them in Minecraft. Some other things that exist in the game, some spiders. You can see one hanging out over there. There's little, they're called testificates. They're like little villages. And you can buy stuff from them, but they're like kind of the NPCs in the game. They have very low interaction, do almost nothing, but they are there in these little pre-spawned villages that pop up. Another thing, there's like potion brewers, brewing stands, so you brew potions in the game that give you extra abilities and stuff like that. So your kids would actually be trying to make these potions to enhance their character in different ways. Another world, so there's three worlds that exist that spawn. One is kind of the overworld, which is what we're in right now. It's got deserts, it's got oceans, it's got trees, mountains. There's all kind of different biomes that exist. We're in the middle of a forest/plains biome right now, but there's lots of different ones that exist. One of the other worlds that you have to build, which takes a little bit of time in survival mode, obviously you can just build it instantly in creative mode, is what's called the Nether. And you get to the Nether by going through these portals. And the Nether looks like this. So it's a different world. It spawns, it's procedurally generated just like the overworld. As you move around it, it continues to just kind of spawn and generate chunks around you. And it's got creatures in it like little magma cubes that jump around. It's got ghast, which are big ghost looking things that can jump around, that fly around rather. Let me see, I can show you one. It's got zombie pigmen in them. There's a ghast. Zombie pigmen look like they're little pigmen, but they're zombies. That's a, oh, sorry, that's a blaze, not a ghast. I clicked on the wrong one. This is what a ghast looks like. And so you're going to see those in the nether. And so obviously not like the most like enticing looking place. It could be compared to another place that some people may or may not believe in. So be aware of that. But that's the nether. And then the third world that you can go to, which I'm actually not going to, very few people actually get to it, but there are these things called end portals, which take you to this black void looking place with white stones all around it, where you fight the ender dragon, which is this big black dragon that flies around. And that's actually kind of the end game, as it were, if you're in survival mode, which most kids, in my experience, for the kids that I've seen that play this, don't really play. So the end is kind of a non-factor for most people that are going to play the game, but it is there. So those are the three worlds. As far as what you do in the game, I mean, in creative mode, you've got unlimited building blocks. So you can build, whatever you want. There is something to be said about Minecraft that it has really encouraged a lot of creativity in kids. I have some friends where their kids have showed me some stuff that they've built in the game, and it's pretty impressive. I mean, you have to be imaginative. There's a lot of engineering involved, not always realistic engineering, because there are things you can do, like you can build a platform of things, and then you can knock out the lowest block, and it still stands. So it's not necessarily realistic in what it does yet, although that could be changed. They're always changing the game and evolving it. But it does encourage kids to be creative and do some different stuff. In survival mode, you really have to think for yourself. They have to eat. There's hunger in survival mode. You can be damaged by the monsters, so you have to kind of fend for yourself and be able to forage for food. You got to grow food. You got to find food. You've got to build a shelter that's going to protect you from all the monsters at night, because once it gets dark, like it is right now, there's a full day and night cycle in the game. Things get a little scarier at night. That's when the spiders start kind of coming out like crazy. Creepers start coming out like crazy. Zombies, skeletons. The spiders get these cool little glowing eye things. So there is some critical thinking to it. But that's kind of the nuts and bolts of Minecraft in a detail. There's not really much else to the game. I mean, you just kind of take your imagination from here and go where you want to go with it. So there shouldn't be any surprises to you or your family if you decide to pick this up and play it, or if your kid's playing it. As far as an online factor goes, so right now Minecraft, like it is in this form, is mostly single player. There are multiplayer servers that you can play online, where you're going to have interaction with other people. And as always, when you add an interaction with other people, you can't control what other people are going to say. Some servers have really good filters in place, and they try to, keep their communities really in check. But you're always going to have that person that's just kind of spontaneously just saying stuff, or doing stuff. And so you got to watch out for that kind of stuff. But in the single player form, it's just you and your imagination. So it is opened up to LAN. So if you have multiple computers or devices in your home, and you want to jump on and play, kind of all play the same game, you can do that. And that's pretty much it. So mods are probably worth mentioning as kind of a final note. So there are a lot of mods out there. I would advise caution when using mods, because there are some mods that people just throw up on websites where they're free to download websites, meaning that the people make money off of the ads that are being placed on the site when things get downloaded. So there are people out there that create mods for the game. They host them on these websites, and then they get paid a percentage of the ads that are viewed for every time their file is downloaded. So they try to make really good mods for Minecraft that'll get downloaded a lot so that they can make money, which is good for them. And it's not bad for you necessarily, except for that whenever you're going on third-party download sites, there's always an opportunity for you to click the wrong thing, install something extra. And because of the way that Minecraft works on your computer, it sometimes can be a little picky on how you install mods and things like that to enhance the game or give it extra things. There also are a lot of mods out there that you may or may not want your kids to be involved in. To the top of my mind, the girlfriend mod, which provides a girlfriend in the game for you, may not be something you want your kids to experience. There are also a lot of other weapon mods. They add in a lot of guns, things that you can make in the game. There's a beer mod where you can brew your own beer in the game. So things like that that may not be as kid-friendly as the game in its kind of raw original form like we have it here. So, but if you don't download anything extra to go with it, you just kind of stick to the game in itself. Outside of the things I just showed you, you should be in pretty good shape. So feel free to check it out, kind of take a look at it yourself. And if you have any other questions or comments about it, feel free to list them in the box below. And I'll get to them, I'll check them out, and I will answer them for you. Or you can always do a follow-up video on any specific mods you have a question about. If your kids are really pestering you to say, hey, I really want to check out TechEd, or all my friends play this mod and I want to add it on, feel free to let me know. I can always install that myself and check it out and post a video on that. Until then, we'll see you next time.